What if God was born today, as an ordinary human child, and humanity knew exactly where to find him? One morning, every radio telescope on Earth receives the same signal. China receives it. India receives it. NASA receives it. Private observatories receive it. The signal doesn't come from Earth, it comes from deep space. And it contains a message, a set of coordinates pointing to a small island in the middle of the ocean, along with a warning. At these coordinates, a child has been born. Before the age of 16, he is human. After the age of 16, he becomes God. He may be killed before then. After then, he cannot be stopped. Scientists spend weeks trying to prove it's a hoax. They fail. The message contains astronomical information humanity has never discovered. Every prediction it makes turns out to be correct. Within months, the entire world accepts an impossible reality. Somewhere on an isolated island, a newborn child is destined to become an all-powerful being, and humanity has 16 years to decide what to do about it. The first reaction is not celebration, it's panic, because the island belongs to nobody. No nation controls it. No government has legal authority over it. Yet every government on Earth immediately understands the same thing. Whoever controls the child controls the future. The island becomes the most valuable piece of land in human history. Within days, military ships begin arriving, then aircraft, then surveillance satellites, then intelligence agencies. Every major power wants custody. Every major power believes another power must not get custody. The situation becomes even worse when religious groups become involved. Every religion claims the child fulfills their prophecies and belongs to them. New religions appear almost overnight. Each group believes it has the right to guide the future God. Some want to protect him. Others want to convert him. Others believe he must be isolated from all religions entirely. And then a darker movement appears. A movement with a terrifying argument. Kill him. Not because they hate him, because they fear him. If an all-powerful being is about to appear, then humanity has only two possibilities: trust him or stop him. Millions choose the second option. For the first time in history, people begin organizing protests, demanding the death of a child. The world becomes divided between those who see him as humanity's greatest hope and those who see him as humanity's greatest threat. And while the arguments rage, the boy remains completely unaware. He is just a child living on an island that is slowly becoming the center of the world. Then, the first shots are fired, and everything begins falling apart because every nation wants custody. But no nation is willing to let another nation have it. The island does not become a sanctuary. It becomes a battlefield. At first, governments talk about international cooperation, joint protection, shared oversight, global responsibility. None of it lasts, because every nation eventually reaches the same conclusion. If the boy truly becomes God at 16, then whoever influences those 16 years may influence the future of the entire species. And influence is power. Soon, military bases appear on neighboring islands. Warships permanently surround the region. Drones patrol the skies day and night. The island becomes the most heavily monitored location on Earth. Then comes the first assassination attempt. Nobody claims responsibility. Nobody needs to. The message is clear. Not everyone intends to let the boy reach 16. Security increases. Then comes another attempt. Then another. Within a few years, the island resembles a fortress. The irony is impossible to ignore. Humanity is trying to protect a future God from humanity itself. The island's original inhabitants suffer the most. Their homes are seized. Their communities are broken apart. Their beaches become military zones. Their forests become surveillance networks. Many are relocated. Others refuse to leave. Some are killed during clashes between security forces and extremists. The boy watches all of it. Every argument, every riot, every funeral, every explosion. He grows up hearing a single message repeated over and over again. You are the most important person on Earth, and you are the reason people keep dying. The psychological damage becomes impossible to avoid. He cannot have normal friends. Every friend may be an informant. Every teacher may have an agenda. Every adult wants something from him. Some want him to save humanity. Some want him to follow their religion. Some want him to support their nation. Some want him dead. Millions claim to love him. Yet almost nobody sees him as a child, only as a future weapon. As the years pass, society becomes increasingly unstable. Economies fluctuate because of him. Stock markets crash because of rumors about him. New religions gain millions of followers. Others collapse completely. Some people spend their lives preparing for the day he turned 16. Others spend their lives preparing to stop that day from happening. The closer his 16th birthday approaches, the worse things become. Because humanity realizes something terrifying. There is no backup plan. If he gains his powers, nobody can control him. If he dies before then, the opportunity is gone forever. There is no second chance. The entire future of civilization rests on a single teenager surviving a single birthday. The final year becomes pure madness. Terrorist attacks increase. Governments accuse each other of secret plots. Assassination attempts become weekly events. Private armies appear. Fanatical cults emerge. Some worship him as God. Others worship his future enemies. By age 15, the boy has witnessed more violence than most soldiers. He has watched people kill and die in his name. He has seen families destroyed because of arguments about what he might become. And for the first time, a frightening question begins appearing in interviews, documentaries, and political debates around the world. Not whether the boy will survive, but whether humanity deserves for him to survive. Because if he truly becomes God at 16, then humanity is creating that God right now. And the version it is creating is growing up inside the most toxic environment imaginable. The world expects his 16th birthday to be the most important day in human history. By then, hundreds of millions of people are watching live broadcasts. Warships surround the island. Missile systems remain on standby. Fighter jets patrol nearby airspace. Governments have prepared countless plans. None of them matter, because every plan assumes he remains human. The clock reaches midnight. Nothing happens. For a few seconds, people wonder if the message was wrong. Then every electronic device on Earth shuts off. Not explodes, not breaks, just stops. Power stations fail. Satellites go dark. Aircraft lose communication. The internet disappears. For exactly 60 seconds. Then everything comes back online. The same message appears on every screen. Every phone, every television, every computer. A single sentence. I am awake. And for the first time, humanity realizes the message was real. The military reacts immediately, not because they want to attack him, because they are terrified someone else will. Thousands of soldiers rush toward the island. They never arrive. Every vehicle simply stops moving. Engines shut down. Weapons refuse to fire. Missiles refuse to launch. Nothing is destroyed. Nothing is damaged. The machines simply stop cooperating. As if reality itself has decided the conflict is over. Then comes the most surprising part. He doesn't declare himself ruler of Earth. He doesn't perform miracles. He doesn't punish anyone. For several days, he says nothing. The world waits, and that silence becomes frightening, because nobody knows what he is thinking. Imagine being 16 years old. You have spent your entire life surrounded by soldiers. You have watched people kill each other over your future. You have seen nations fight for ownership of your life. You have never experienced privacy, never experienced freedom, never experienced normal childhood, and suddenly you become omnipotent. What would you do? Many assume he will seek revenge. Human history suggests they may be right. But human history has never created anything like this. For 16 years, everyone focused on whether they should fear him. Nobody stopped to ask whether he should fear them. Because from his perspective, humanity was terrifying. Humanity destroyed his island. Humanity turned his childhood into a political battlefield. Humanity spent 16 years debating whether he deserved to live. Humanity treated him less like a person and more like a prize. For the first time, the world sees itself through his eyes, and the reflection is ugly. Then comes the moment that changes everything. He reveals something nobody expected. During those 16 years, he was human, but he wasn't blind. He remembers everything, every conversation, every secret meeting, every assassination attempt, every betrayal, every lie. He knows exactly who tried to protect him and exactly who tried to kill him. The governments that plotted against him know it. The extremists know it. The cult leaders know it. The generals know it. Suddenly, billions of people are no longer wondering what God can do. They are wondering what God remembers, because there is a huge difference. An all-powerful God might be dangerous. An all-powerful God with 16 years of unresolved trauma is far more dangerous, and humanity has spent 16 years carefully manufacturing that trauma. Now the bill is about to arrive. The world expected destruction. It expected fire from the sky. It expected oceans to split apart. It expected judgment. Instead, nothing happened. The boy remained on the island, watching, listening, and somehow that was even more terrifying, because nobody knew what he was deciding. For the first time, humanity was no longer studying him. He was studying humanity. Governments quickly realized something disturbing. Secrets no longer existed. Every classified document, every hidden meeting, every covert operation, every crime committed behind closed doors. He could see all of it. Not because he was spying, because there was simply nothing left to hide from him. Around the world, panic spread. Some leaders resigned. Others publicly confessed decades of wrongdoing. Religious movements exploded in popularity. New cults appeared almost overnight. Some people spent their savings. Others abandoned their careers. Millions genuinely believed the world was about to end, but the end never came. Days passed, then weeks, then months. The oceans remained where they were. The continents remained intact. The sky did not crack open. Humanity kept waiting for God to make his move. Instead, he simply watched. No speeches, no commandments, no declarations, just silence. And that silence slowly became the most frightening thing on Earth, because nobody knew what he was thinking. Was he deciding humanity's future? Was he judging us? Was he disappointed? Or was he simply learning? For 16 years, humanity had watched him, studied him, controlled him, feared him. Now the roles had reversed. An all-powerful being was observing humanity, and nobody knew what conclusions he was reaching. Perhaps that is what terrified the world most. Not that God had arrived, but that for the first time in history, humanity could no longer pretend that nobody was watching. And somewhere on a small island, a 16-year-old boy sat quietly, looking out at the ocean, while 8 billion people waited to discover what God would do next.